Hi there guys, this is Scart back with another video. This is going to be a really quick and short one in which I'll just be talking about the Crusade and like what that event is and its explanation and how to deal the most damage and what exactly does reading mean and stuff like that. Alright, so let's begin. So this is the Crusade event. Now it happens 2 times daily, and the first time it happens is 12 p.m. UTC. It's 12 p.m. UTC and also at 7 p.m. UTC. So that's exactly 7 hours apart from each other. And both of these events last for 45 minutes, which is way more than enough because all you need is 20 minutes of active time for this. And so let's begin. So once you go in here, there are totally 5 characters which always appear in this Crusade. So you can see one right here, which is Kyokajiro. Now, other than her, we have Kendo Itsuka. There's also Izuku Midoriya, the A-class hero. And if I'm not wrong, there's also Suyu Asui. And I can't remember the 5th one. It is possible that there are only 4 of those which cycle, and they come every alternate time. I think there are 5, but I can't recall the 5th one. But anyways, let's begin. So for events like this, what you have to do is to deal the highest damage. And how you do that, like if you see right here in individual, we have our first rank, which has 210 million damage dealt as of now. Now this damage right here is an integral damage, but this is the limited damage. The integral damage is double the amount. What I mean by that is, when I attack right here, if I deal 1 billion damage right here, that will be my integral damage, but the limited damage would be half of it. What I'm trying to say is, in math form, if I deal 1 billion damage, only 500 million of it will count, and it will show that I have only dealt 500 million damage, even though I have dealt 1 billion damage to the character or the Crusade enemy. Now, if there's a notification which pops up here saying that someone dealt this much damage, that this much number is the integral number, not the limited. So it might show you someone dealt 3 million or 300 million damage, but in the individual score, you're only gonna see 150 million. Alright, so those were just the basics of this. Now the team that I use for this, now this is my main PvP team. What I do here is I remove my Tetsu from the team and add Mei Hatsume, and I start with Tokoyami. Now I can explain why this team works the best over here. Now Crusade totally depends on who dealt the most damage in those 45 minutes frame. So why I begin with Tokoyami is whenever he does his ultimate, he gives me 10% crit damage and 10% or 20% crit rate to all my characters. Not only that, his 6 stars gives me 20% crit damage as an aura, and his costume level 10 gives me 20% crit rate to all the characters as well. So overall, if he's able to start with his ultimate, I already have 60% guaranteed crit rate on all my characters, and then gears and mentalities also affect my crit rate from there on. So I already have a confirmed 20%, the rest can come from that. Now right after that is going to be my main DPS, because I already have him extra overpoweredly built. He is the one who deals the most damage out here. And then whoever is left over here, the other 4 in my team, are just supports. Now, other than Kirishima, all of them are supports. Now, the only reason I have Kirishima is because he's my main tank, and I have made him almost equally overpowered as my Glam. And so, even though he has a lot more HP and defense than my other troops, his attack as well has grown a lot because of his current level and the investment I have done on him. So, even though he's a tank, his damage itself is pretty considerable, and he definitely increases the overall damage dealt. Now the other 3 right here, I use Mina for the sole purpose of team faction. Like how you see I have 5 of the same faction deployed, so I have 20% attack bonus. That is all we care about. And then right after, and also the other reason that I have Mina in my team is her costume at level 10 gives me 15% damage bonus, and Crusade is all about damage. Now we talk about Mineta. Mineta at 6 stars gives everyone 20% crit rate on top of what Tokoyami is giving. So now you know why I use this team, because I already have 80% crit rate confirmed and already there on my characters, apart from their gears, which give them a lot more crit rate on top of that. So definitely why I use Mineta, and his costume at level 10 gives me 25% attack bonus. And the damage scaling in this game mathematically goes like crit damage bonus scaling is more than damage bonus scaling, which is further more than attack bonus scaling. Now even though Mineta gives attack bonus, I go for Mineta because his attack bonus percentage is 20%, whereas Mina only gives us 15% over here. Now let's come to Mei Hatsume. Now if you see, I have strategized Mei Hatsume to be right behind my Glam, and there's a reason for her being there. Basically, Mei Hatsume, sorry, at 4-star gives 4 rage to whoever's right in front of her whenever she does her ultimate. So basically my Glam is never gonna stop proccing his ultimate and even end up with more than 5 or 10 rage at the end of the game. And that is our main goal, because Glam's entire damage comes out from his ultimate, and we want to deal as much damage as possible with Glam. So giving him this rage from her ultimate is definitely something. Now my Glam was in the front row, and that was also a tactic for that, because whenever Mei Hatsume does her ultimate, she gives 1 stack of inspired to all the friendly heroes in the front row. That basically means she gives 15% damage bonus to whoever's in the front row. And that is my Glam, Kirishima, and Tokoyami. Now Tokoyami is not someone that important to gain more damage, but still, he still deals more damage than the other 3 right here in general, so it's pretty good on him as well. But Kirishima and Glam, they are my main attackers, Glam being over Kirishima because he's more focused on attack. Alright, so that is the team that I usually go with. All of their costumes are at least level 10. Glam and Kirishima are at 30 because obviously they're the main damage dealers. Now, the only reason I have so many wisdom characters and why I chose to remove Tetsu for Mei Hatsume was the team faction that I get for 5 heroes from the same faction. So that is definitely why I choose to go for this, because that extra 5% attack bonus, it definitely helps. Alright. So let's begin a game. So now whenever you click fight, you automatically go into game. So be aware of that and first set your lineup before clicking fight. Alright, so once the game begins, as you can see, I'll talk about my assist skills real quick and I can explain why I use those. So Tokoyami starts with his ultimate, giving everyone damage bonus, which is crit damage bonus, and then my Glam goes on attacking for 900 or 90 million damage right there in the first round. And now, Mineta right here, if you can see, there were 3 rage given. Whenever Mineta does his ultimate, he gives everyone in the front row 1 rage. So that's definitely why I use Mineta in my team as well, for rage regeneration. And if you saw, Mei Hatsume did her ultimate, and now my Glam has 9 rage points right now. And he dealt 90 million again. Even though Kirishima is more HP and defense oriented, he dealt like 25 million, if you could see that. So if we skip this entire battle, you could have seen how it went to round 10, and my Glam at the end had 5 rage left over for him. And now if you see right here, my Glam right here dealt 920 million damage, and Kirishima, even though he's not focused on damage, he dealt the second highest, which is 112 million damage, which is not less, to be honest, it's pretty high. And now if you can see right here, damage inflicted is 1,079 million or something like that. But the points earned is exactly half of the damage that I dealt, which was 5.39 million, or sorry, 539 million. So that is exactly what I was talking about, integral value and the actual damage dealt, or the limited value, which basically shows what happens. I dealt 1 billion damage even though it just shows 539 million damage. So that was my fight. Now for raids, I usually tend to go back to my lineup and go back to my PvP lineup. Now I'm kind of strong in my server and I'm able to defeat everyone, and my union in general has the strongest players, and you cannot raid your own union players because you don't want to sabotage them and make them lose. So basically Raid only consists of opponents from other unions. Now I'm from Union Hunter, and I can attack others like Super LB right here. He's from Union Jokers. So I can attack him, but no one else from my union right here, like Ninja, Regal, Inovian. All the others are from my union. So when I click raid, it automatically sends me to a raid. So I have to adjust my lineup to my PvP lineup. So all I do is just shift my glam, but others might have to change their team entirely so that you can raid easily and win the game. So I just raid and I just skip it instantly because I know I will be winning. And by this I can steal some points off of them. Now the sole reason is to get first in this entire competition. That is why you raid in general. And then right after your raid is finished, I tend to keep the PvP lineup right here and not change it until my fight's countdown is over. Now both the fight and the raid countdown is 5 minutes each. That is why I said all you need is 20 minutes of availability for this challenge. You can fight a total of 5 times and raid a total of 5 times. And each of them have 5 minutes countdown between each. And the first one is obviously there's no countdown. So what I'm trying to say is the first time I fight there's 5 minutes wait, second time another 5, third and fourth and fifth. So in that order we only have 20 minutes of wait time in total, and in the meanwhile you can always complete your quests, like how I have a lot of them completed in one go. And also clear some up plan, and right as you're done, and even use some stamina, and right as I come back my countdown should be over by this time. Alright, so now let's talk about the support or like assist skills that I'm using. Now I definitely go with Carolina Smash because Crusade is all about damage being dealt. So Carolina Smash in general gives me 20% damage bonus or 19% damage bonus at 3 stars. I'm definitely trying to go for 4 stars, but then my other assist skills have higher levels. Now the other assist skill that I use is Gravity Plus. The only reason I use this is to stun the target which is in front of me and reduce their rage by 2, and it has a 110% chance. What this is trying to imply is whenever I'm doing a fight against in Crusade, my Gravity Plus will always stun and reduce 2 rage from the opponent. And since there's only one opponent in Crusade, they are bound to get stunned and reduce their rage by 2. So it's definitely useful in general. And not only that, Mina also reduces rage and numbs the target, so they can't even do their normal attack in case they do not get stunned with 110% somehow. But yeah, that is how it works. Now the third assist skill that I am using right now, but I wouldn't recommend for Crusade, is Black Hole. Now I'm using this because this is just my PvP assist skill, that like these 3 are the ones which I use in my PvP. But the one that I would recommend the most is the Big Iceberg. Now why this? Because at 0 stars it's kind of skeptic because it only has 50% chance to cast. But as soon as you go to like 3 stars or even 4, but 3 is a good point to stop because that basically gives you 70 to 80% chance to proc. And every time it procs in every round, it gives you 5% of damage bonus till the end of the battle. Now you might think 5% is super less because Carolina Smash is giving you 20% or 19%, but that is only for 2 rounds if you think about it. So even if you try stacking this, the maximum it can go is 40%. Whereas if you're able to proc Big Iceberg for 8 rounds, you already have additional 40% and even more if you keep proccing this in the rounds further down. Now it definitely does give me more attack bonus than Black Hole because all it does is reduces the rage in front of my like on the enemy side. So it is useful in PvP but not in Crusade. So I would go with Big Iceberg. Now if you don't have the ones that I mentioned, go for the golden ones because they have the highest base stats and the most attack that they can give you. And if you don't have any of the golden ones, then go for the purple and then so on for blue and green. Alright, so let's go for another fight real quick. Now I have to adjust my lineup so that Mei Hatsume is right behind my glam, Tokoyami starts the fight, and the others can be wherever they want. I keep Kirishima in front row so that her Mei's ultimate can give him damage bonus. So let's fight. Now I will make this fight be on slow motion so that you can see what's happening. Carolina Smash comes up right here, gives everyone damage bonus. And now you see Gravity Plus came and stunned and reduced to rage. Now there's a reason why Black Hole did not proc, because there's only 70% for it to proc. And if you see, since my Tokoyami did 2 ultimates, I got double the crit damage and double the crit rate in all this time. So that is definitely why I start with Tokoyami, so that I can increase my damage further. And because of Tokoyami in general, all the other characters of mine are also dealing pretty significant damage. Now my Mei Hatsume is unbuilt right now, so you didn't see a higher value from her. Same goes for Mina. But in general, they definitely help my team a lot and deal a lot more damage. As you can see now, Black Hole was there again. It tried reducing rage, but it's 0. Same goes for Gravity Pull, and I stunned her again. So now I take 0 damage, and at the same time, my characters are dealing insane damage right here. And if I skip right here, you can see I dealt a billion damage, but half of it was covered. And in my stats, you can see Glam did 915, A0 Kirishima did 110 million, and the others just helped them deal that damage, but they also dealt some in the meanwhile. So yeah, that was basically all I had for this one. Let's go for another raid. Now I would suggest changing the team before I fight again to my Crusade team, and then since I'm pretty confident that I will win this PvP, like how you saw right there, I would always keep my team on the PvP team so that no one else can attack you or raid you in the meanwhile. And at the same time, don't forget to change your team before fight so that you can easily deal damage. So that is the entire Crusade event for you. And if you want to see the builds what I have, I always go for the Courage Transistor for my Glam, because our enemy is always gonna stay at full HP, and that is over 70%, so you get 40% damage bonus. And all my supports right here, like Tokoyami, Mineta, and Mina, I would go with the Fury Transistor because their ultimates are definitely worth it. Now Mina can be something different, not Fury, because her ultimate does not help others. But Tokoyami, Mei Hatsume, and Mineta, they all should be on Fury Transistor because they definitely deal a lot of damage. And if they redo their ultimate, they can give more rage or increase more damage, give more crit rate, crit damage, everything. Kirishima is just a normal tank build with Tenacious and stuff like that. And for mentality wise, I give all my mentality to All Might so that he's the best, and my extra leftovers can go on to these other support characters so that they can also deal a bit more damage and maybe help my damage increase by a bit. So that was the entire Crusade event summarized. I know it took a bit longer than 15 minutes, but there you go. That sums up the event. And if you score the highest at rank 1, you get 100 mastery points, or what it's called as Union Skill Tree. Now the more coins you get, and the higher you can level your skills at for different supports, control, power, tank, and physical players or characters. And that's how it works. Alright, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope this helps.